Okay.
All right. So, welcome. Today we have.
Taylor Davis, the model.
Okay. All right. So, what brings you here today, Taylor?
Well, just a stranger asked me to. No, so I just came out to really elaborate on my experience as a model and my journey through my young years.
Okay. So, I would, like you to introduce yourself today on, who you are, what is it you do.
Okay. So I'm Taylor. I do not only modeling, I do fashion. I'm a creative artist, so I have a lot of aspects in that. And yeah, I've just kind of been doing that for a good minute. So that's my passion is modeling, and also my love and lover is fashion. So yeah.
Okay. So, I see, you've worn something very lavish today. So, who who are you wearing today? Is this something custom or is this something that you've just picked out?
I just actually got this as a gift, and because it was so big, I had to sew it and alter it to get it like to fit me. But I really think this is simple, so thank you.
It,
But yeah, this was just a gift. I think they got it off of Shein. You know, I'm telling you my trade secrets, but
it
yeah, it's a nice flowy day, so I thought let's go simple.
okay.
What about you yourself? You know what I'm saying? You got the shoes on.
Oh, this is just something that I put together.
Same.
Yeah. But it's not necessarily about me today, but
Okay.
my question is what I would like to go back to on is the conversation we were having inside of the cafe,
Uh huh.
which is like what brought you to wanting to model?
Mm, I would say I grew up um, in a nice household, but with me going to school and stuff like that, I really lost my confidence due to people. Um, my eyebrows are different. My lips are different. I'm always picking at my features. Even my hair was a problem for people, and it just really brought down my confidence to see the beauty. I always thought that I had to do myself up to become pretty or meet people's standards. Um, and it was just hard to go out throughout the day and just live life, you know. And it's the reason why sometimes I would do all of that. But one day I stepped out and I was just like, F the world. I don't care. I'm traveling. I'm going to go find myself. And I ended up going to a school and they had like a little club, really a bougie club. Really, everybody petty, like the mean girls. But by that time, I didn't really care. But once I found it, I was trying really hard to get in it. And the first time I failed. My walk wasn't the best. And I wasn't as confident as I should have been in myself. And the second time, I didn't even go. And then the third time, I went after meeting this girl, and she was also nervous. And I was just like, we got this. You know what I'm saying? There's no way we're not going to be, chosen. You got to look at yourself and really love them. And after that, I don't know. I don't know what happened, but my energy shifted, and I was just like walking, and I felt so happy. I felt free. I felt beautiful. I felt strong, and I didn't care if they took me or not.
Well, I mean, you saying that it's still hard to believe today because I've seen a bunch of walks and you still have one of the best walks I've ever seen.
Thank you.
Exuding confidence, walking with pride.
Thank you. I worked hard. Very hard. So, I wouldn't, I would say even now I still try to push myself because even though you say that,
Mm-hmm.
it never stops growing, never stops changing. I want to be versatile. with every confidence that I bring. You know what I'm saying? Because every runway has a different aesthetic, a different vibe, a different confidence that they need, and I want to be able to give that for every person who I walk for.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, speaking of runways, I have questions about runways.
Okay, okay.
What's been the best event that you've walked in? And what do you prefer? Do you prefer no walkway, no catwalk, or do you prefer walking on the floor?
When you say walking on the floor, do you mean the actual floor? Like
Yeah, no
carpet?
base. I mean, just straight base.
Just
no,
straight.
Yeah, no lifted base.
Um,
Not being elevated above the crowd.
the best runway, let me answer that first. I'm gonna be honest. I've walked for a lot of runways. But I would say the one that I liked the most was the one that I actually participated in creating. And that was Winter Royal Inn. It wasn't big, but I put in a lot of work to like put that into happening. And I only walked for a little bit, but it was nice to be able to build those people's confidence enough to be able to walk also. And after that, like I haven't really experienced too many good runways due to either, you know, maybe the models not knowing what to do or them knowing the confidence that they bring. It could be there's chaos with the actual direction with the people on top. And yeah, it's unfortunate, but I would say that was the only runway where I felt I'm happy about this, you know? And then for me walking on what setting on stage, I would say based on whatever heel I'm wearing really matters. If I'm walking on a stage, that's easier sometimes if they have the right floor. It really just depends on that because I'm always wearing heels. So if I walk on a slippery upstage, I'm out. And then if I walk on like just the base, you know, I'm good on either one, but it's just again, it comes to adjusting my heels to be able to walk in that. So I would rather walk on a stage than a carpet or a regular floor just for stability. You know, that's what I'm used to. But I'm not gonna lie, you won't find that a lot because some people cut their runways short. You know, sometimes it's not even about the walk. It's just about the posing.
So, okay, so would you say you prefer more of a complicated sequence or just straight catwalk? Because I've noticed as I've gotten, you know, more and more into this, the higher it's weird. Like the lower cost shows seem to have more turns, more pose positions, more like routes. There might be stairs involved, and then you hit like a little more paid. It's just straight back and forth, and then you hit, you know, the New York Fashion Week, the Paris Fashion Week, the Tokyo like they're not necessarily even runways really anymore. They turn to extravagant events. So it's like, what do you think? Who do you think has done it best, or what tier necessarily, or what way do you think has been the best for you so far?
I would say I really am like an open book when it comes to walking. I like it when it get a little bit crazy, you know.
Okay.
But again, it comes to the structure of how they do it, and sometimes it's a flop. You know, they flop really hard, and then it's just like, all right, you're not making your way back to the water, so you might as well stop.
You know, not to throw any shade, so we don't have to name names, but what has been the biggest flop that you've seen participating in a show?
No direction. Yeah, one person, they just tell you to go, just go, and then it's just no direction at all. You know what I'm saying? I know what to do, but
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, there's other people who might not, and they can't get it like that. So when you just say go, and you just say, oh yeah, just go in there and just walk, and do this and pose over there, and pose over there, and pose over there. Which one am I hitting first? Which one am I going to? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then what if I bump into this person because I'm not swift enough? I mean, of course not me, but like, it's just challenging for people who do extravagant runways, and you're a model who has not yet broken your surface into actually participating in other runways where it's just a simple or the craftsmanship of your walk. So I usually like the more extravagant ones where the setting is beautiful and the walk is like either you go straight and then you turn and then you go that way and you turn and you come right back, or you're about to collide with somebody and you do a little nice little spin to it with them, kind of like the old days.
Okay.
But
Okay.
a simple walk is nothing wrong with them. Like I say, it's just really the person on top who makes it happen. And if you're not communicating correctly, a lot of models can bump into each other if they're not up to par with the other one.
Okay. So, being someone who has not only done shows in the city of Chicago itself, which we are, how comparing Chicago to other cities within the states, how does the community feel to you? Because I mean, I know Chicago Fashion Week has made a reoccurrence and come back, and I think this is the second year that it's coming back, and I think it was gone for what they say, it's like 10 years or something like that. So how do you think the community within the Chicago Fashion Network, or just itself, compared to other cities?
I would say you at least have some openings. In other cities, it might not be like that. You really have to really find out who's those good people, because when you're in the fashion or you're in the modeling, there's a lot of people who will take advantage of you, or use or make it seem like they're about to give you a big opportunity and they're not. Or in Chicago, I would say they're really good with collaborating with certain artists who are amazing at what they do, and you just don't know it yet, which has allowed me the opportunity to meet a lot of great people. But then there is occasions where you do meet somebody and it's very closed off. It's hard to network. It seems not genuine. It's
Mm-hmm.
like scripted because you're trying so hard to be able to make that connection and get to where you want to get. And that's the one thing I've noticed recently about Chicago is like having a conversation with somebody, they don't make it seem like it's easy anymore. I can't just talk to you as a person, as a human, without just the career being in the way. Like, we can just talk. And then we can get into the career and figure out, oh yeah, man, you work for who? That's just my experience. But it's been nice. I would say LA, I've been there, I walked for them. Yeah,
Uh-oh.
I would say when I walked for LA Fashion Week, I just had a lot of people. There was no seats really a lot. Like there was like you had to stand there for hours, and it was supposed to have been your time to go, and you're still standing there. And then when you did go, you had people just snatching dresses rather than the designer having the opportunity to put their vision on someone that they want.
So you just took a dress. There
Not
wasn't.
me.
No,
No,
I'm
not me.
saying just that there were models just snatching dresses
Dresses
off the rack,
off the rack,
and
just,
the designers weren't actually putting the clothes on the models themselves.
sometimes, yeah, that was the case. The designer was overwhelmed. They didn't get help, so the models just took it in their hand and just like, oh yeah, no, I like this one. I like this one. I like this one. I'm gonna take this one. I'm just like, okay, what if somebody else needed that, or what if you're not the person that they wanted, whatever. And then on top of that, when it did come to you wearing your dress or them lining you up, a lot of people like to play little tricks to, you know how it is in the modern world. You either be the first or you be the last. and I had somebody fighting me for the last. And I'm like, look,
You either start the show or you end the show.
exactly. And she apparently really wanted to end the show. So, but
That's
I don't play
was
with
she
tricks.
even was were they even wearing the, you know, finale piece or?
No, I was. And the designer wanted me to walk at the end. So at the end, she didn't really get what she wanted. I let her walk at the end, but then when it came down to it and I talked to the designer, they wanted me to walk.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure they still walked you out with the piece on.
Yes, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, they walked me out on the piece, and she was the person in front of me. But I just don't do the whole little games, you know. It's up to the designer, not you.
Oh man.
And that was just my experience. So I would say Chicago was better than LA, at least in that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was to go back again, maybe it'll be different.
Do you plan on walking or visit or going to any of the shows? And because I believe it's in October again for Chicago Fashion Week. I know last year the big show that they had was in the Ogilvy train station.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that was the one. But I'm curious to see what they're going to end up doing this year.
I do actually want to go, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm trying to take a trip out to Japan. So I do want to live there and see their fashion and see how they handle it, and hopefully get some connections. But I do hope to see some more fashion in Chicago. And I don't mean just fashion and just regular one-ways. I mean something that really makes me
Something that grabs you.
really, like, it's like me starting all over again and just fell in love again.
Well, okay, so okay. So speaking of Japan, Japan has its own culture. It has its own culture. It has its own fashion scene.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of brands that people don't necessarily even know about.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that no one really talks about, and this is something that I, plan on bringing up, is my question is, Japan being known for one big thing, and that's their anime.
Oh, you got me.
Oh,
You got me.
So you probably know where I'm going with this.
Okay.
Who are the best clothing designed characters or series within anime?
Oh God.
Because that's something no one really talks about on how much that goes into it. It's a fashion scene on its own.
That is true. That is true, and it really is amazing how they design their clothes in anime. I'm not gonna lie.
Everything from the 80s jazz and drip and cowboy bebop to the bright colors and everything from in S. Cry Ed or Outlaw Star, like it's an entire scene on its own, but no one really talks about it. And whoever's the artist, I don't necessarily even know if they're designing the clothes themselves or not, but they're doing good work.
Yeah, they are. I would say that's a hard question for me because I would say the anime that I did like that was like really about fashion and the model, the name is slipping me right now, which is crazy because the whole journey was about the girl finding her confidence as a model and falling in love with a sleaze bag. And then she running into also other creative designers, and they were dealing with their own drama and sleaze bags and beatings and stuff like that, but she made it to the top because she's put in that work. But she was also heartbroken, and it just made her strive for more to be the top. And their fashion was so crazy. It really makes me mad that it's slipping my mind. But I was settled.
Who's just got the most drip on paper?
Oh my God.
That's the question.
Oh gosh. See.
Who makes you go, I wear that in real life?
I really don't know. Because it's like, there's a lot that I would wear. Like, this is just like simple for me. So I would go crazy if I had decked this out myself. But I would say recently, uh, I like the old when they do elves, how they do their fashion.
Mm-hmm. High
And
maintenance.
yes, like Fran. I'm sorry, I'm butchering it. F- Flan, Fran. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like it's the brand new one. Starts with an F. She's an elf. No.
I'm a little out of the game.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
sorry.
So even if I was to say it correctly, you probably wouldn't know.
I could look it up later.
Yeah, either that or Don Don. Whenever he transforms, I do like how his whole aesthetic just changes, and it's so bad. Oh, excuse me, so cool. Like the colors and everything, but it's only when his whole fit changes. Have you never watched that?
I
Oh my
know the
God.
name. I swear I know the name, and it's. I'm just drawing a blank right now.
Okay,
I swear.
you need to catch up a little bit.
I know. What? No.
Let me see. There's another one. It's not really like a lot of animes. Mostly, I'm more into the action also. Really action girl here.
Action girl.
Yeah, I love me some action anime. So
Okay, so if you could design a clothing a clothing for any a clothing line for any roster in anime, what would it be?
it would either be, people probably don't know this, Maxwell, Maximus, um, or I would do Naruto because I really do hate his first outfit. I really do. And I hate how they did his haircut and Sasuke's haircut, and it was just like, all right, yeah, I give up.
I don't know. From my understanding, Sasuke is one of the drippiest individuals in the whole series.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay. Maybe to others, but I feel like I said, I would have added more. I'm more into the high fashion rather than the simplicity. Adding layers and everything is really everything to me. I'm learning that more, and yeah, I just would have definitely did Naruto some justice, because I felt like the tracksuit and then the tracksuit again. I was like, oh God.
Okay, so my question that I'm probably gonna have a series itself on this is who makes the best bags? Your top 5 brands for bags, who are they?
I'm not gonna lie, if you're talking about like high brands, I would rather somebody from the street, just like a random person that's just into fashion, like rather than the high classic Gucci or Chanel or all of that. I'm not really into their bags, but if I had to, Gucci.
Gucci?
Yeah, but really, I really wouldn't shop up there. Only because I would definitely walk for them, but it's a lot of unknown artists who have amazing bags. And it's hard to see that they're not getting the recognition that they deserve because, Gucci is always going to be there. It's always going to be that brand. It's made its hard work known. But an unknown artist is just like they're beginning. They're wanting that. They're striving for that creativity. They're coming up with new ideas and hoping to be better than Gucci.
So me outside, I'm known for always having a hot take. Always.
Okay.
So you said Gucci is a brand that's always going to be that brand. It's always going to be there. They put blood, sweat, and tears into it, right? No matter what happens, they're always going to be there. So I recently said that Coach is no longer what it used to be. And me and a friend of mine went back and forth. How do you feel about Coach? Because I personally think that Coach is not on its way out the door, but they've spread themselves too thin and have become an economy bag
Mm.
instead of a collectible item?
Mm. I would say you really got to be with, like, you can keep your image and how you want to and when it comes to like whatever you design, but you also have to evolve.
Mm-hmm.
And if you never evolve, then you're always going to be the same as like in the past. And some people are not with evolving with time, and they just kind of want to evolve in the theme that they have. And it's like you have to kind of mesh it together, like fit the.
Because to me, Coach at one point was on the same level as Gucci.
Yeah,
It was
Gucci.
this Givenchy, Saint Laurent. Like it was on the same level.
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays,
You don't really hear it a lot. Yeah, it's like, huh? Well, not forgotten. It's just again like I also have to know like you really gotta develop with the times. You can still keep your same energy. You just really gotta go. And if they are wanting to just keep it the same, then they can see how far they go. But who knows? Because the younger generation, they're more into other people's fashion rather than going for the high brands. I mean, we can't even half the time you can't even afford them. You have to get the knockoff brand.